If you were to tell me that the Texas Rangers, a team that finished dead last in the AL West in 2021, would not only sign a guy who finished third in MVP voting, but they will also sign one of the top 5 shortstops in all of baseball, I applaud you because you got it right. Okay, but if I'm being serious, if you were to tell me that the Rangers were going to make, like, big moves this offseason, I would probably say you're nuts or you're crazy or something along the lines of that. Now, true, going into the offseason, the Texas Rangers did say that they were going to be active, but I thought they were just bluffing. Yet, here we are. They proved me wrong. You know why? Because they signed Marcus Simeon to a 7-year contract, and they signed Cory Seeker to a 10-year contract. Both of these guys are getting paid the big bucks. Let's first talk about Cory Seeker, who is without doubt a top 10 shortstop in all of baseball. I mean, if you look at his 2021 numbers alone, in 95 games, he had 16 home runs, 57 RBIs, 108 hits, a 306 batting average, a 521 slugging percentage, and an OPS of 915. Now, the only scare for Cory Seeker, though, is that he has been dealing with injuries the past couple of seasons. And when I say injuries, I don't mean like a bunch of bruises and scratches. I mean like surgery-level injury. In fact, in 2018 alone, he missed the entire season due to Tommy John surgery. But yet, when he returned in 2019, he was just the same as he had an OPS of 817. So yeah, when healthy, Cory Seeker is a beast at the plate. Now, let's talk about Marcus Simeon, who had, without a doubt, one of the best seasons in 2021. In 162 games played, he hit 45 home runs, drove in 102 RBIs, had a batting average of .265, had 173 hits, a slugging percentage at .538, and an OPS of .873. And just to add the cherry on top, Marcus finished third in MVP voting and finished with a WAR at 7.3. Now that's impressive. In any other year, he would have been a guaranteed MVP, but due to Shohei Ohtani and Vladimir Guerrero Jr., that is not the case. Now, when it comes to defense, both of these guys are pretty darn good, especially Marcus Simeon, who won a Gold Glove in 2021. So yeah, put these guys in a lineup with solid hitters: Nathaniel Lau at first base, Nick Solak at third base, Adolis Garcia in center field, Willie Calhoun in left field, and newly acquired right fielder Cole Calhoun. This team looks pretty darn scary. So does that mean that they're contenders for the 2022 season? No. I'm sorry to say that, but no. True, they made great improvements when it comes to hitting, but there is still one weakness in the Rangers lineup, and that is the pitching. Like for real, the Rangers only have one good pitcher in the rotation, and it's a guy who's never pitched for the Rangers, and that is Jon Gray, who they recently signed to a 4-year deal actually during the offseason. Now, when you look at the career of Jon Gray, it's pretty weird. You see, he has a 53-49 record, he has 1 career shutout, he has 849 strikeouts, a whip at 1.338, and a FIP at 3.91. However, he does have a career ERA of 4.59. Now true, in 2017, he had his best season with a 10-4 record and a 3.67 ERA, nothing to sneeze at. But in 2018, he just went downhill, pitching a 12-9 record and having an ERA at 5.12. And on top of that, he gave up 98 earned runs, which is the most in baseball. Now, none of this is Jon Gray's fault whatsoever. You see, Jon Gray used to pitch in Colorado. Now, if you know science or baseball, you know that Colorado is where pitchers go to die. Figuratively speaking, of course. You see, the state of Colorado is surrounded by Rocky Mountains. And here's the thing about mountains. They tend to go high up in the sky, and the higher up in the sky you go, the thinner the air gets. Which means, as a hitter, even if you hit the ball at the end of the bat, it's gonna go like 1,000,000,000,000 feet. But as a pitcher, that's your worst nightmare. Now, Jon Gray's numbers, I do believe, will improve in Texas. Number 1, Globe Life Field is gigantic, which is a big plus for pitchers, including Jon Gray. And I think without that thin air anymore, he can pitch that nasty stuff more efficiently. And I do believe he will have an incredible breakout season in 2022. Now, the rest of the Rangers pitching staff is a little bit young and unexperienced, so I don't expect them to be there yet. They are good, and they do have tons of potential, but they're right here, and they need to be here, and I think it's going to take some time for them to get up to here. So, at the end of the day, I do not see the Texas Rangers as 2022 postseason contenders, but they are looking pretty scary. And just wait a couple of years, and this Rangers team is gonna be fun to watch. Anyways, I'm Jimbo. Bye-bye.